Commenters don't understand. Commenters don't understand videos. No, that's probably too confusing. What about a different series? What about why nobody plays? Commenters don't understand videos. Now that's probably a little bit too silly. What about what happened to commenters don't understand videos? You know what? That might just work. So a few of you guys have noticed, and I've talked about it on Twitter a few times, that I haven't really been reading bad or funny comments on my channel in a long time, at least not so much in 2019. In this year, I mean, we're almost done here, I've only uploaded 3 Commenters Don't Understand videos. One back in January, one in April, and the most recent one was in July, so several months ago. And besides that, I haven't really done a ton of other videos here where I'm reading through comments, because I don't know if you guys know this, it might surprise you, but there's only 6 videos on my channel that actually have Commenters Don't Understand in the title. And I know that a lot of people subscribe to me because of those videos. Well, more specifically, the first 3, the very first of which was Commenters Don't Understand the Egyptian God cards. And I think that those original 3 videos, I mean, they weren't the only videos for us reading comments or reacting to funny comments, but I feel like that name really resonated with a lot of people. And that's funny to me because I know that nowadays it seems really obvious, you know, why nobody plays seems super straightforward, and Commenters Don't Understand seems super straightforward, but it took me a while to arrive to those titles. I spend a lot of time, probably about 30 minutes to an hour, sort of debating on every single title for every single video. Now, a lot of the times I'm not just sitting down on my computer for an hour typing things out, but whenever I have a big upload coming up or a video that I think could do really, really well, I do think about that title for quite a while. I want to find a way to not put Yu-Gi-Oh in the title, but still have them appeal to a Yu-Gi-Oh audience. That's pretty tricky because putting Yu-Gi-Oh in the title is a pretty big deal. I think Simo has an excellent way of just putting it at the start of every single title, whereas I have to sort of weave it in, which can be kind of awkward sometimes. But I'm really happy with those 2 series in terms of their success, in terms of how big they helped my channel become. And it's funny for me to think about that Commenters Don't Understand took way longer to arrive at as far as a title goes, way longer than like Why Nobody Plays or any of my other series, because there are a bunch of videos out there before the Commenters Don't Understand series where I'm looking at and reacting to bad comments or funny comments. I think the very earliest one that I can remember is Pot of Desires is Garbage. That was one of my biggest videos back in 2017 in February, so I had just begun sort of picking up my current style of YouTubing. I don't even think that video has a moving background, but in that video I react to a very long and funny comment about Pot of Desires, and I think that that was like the very start of realizing that, okay, if I read funny comments that people that are out of the game leave or casual players leave, then the people that are currently playing the game, especially at a competitive level, can find those videos and enjoy them and laugh with me at these funny comments, and that therefore will increase my subs and increase my views. And that's really what I cared about back in 2017 when I was just starting out with these discussion videos. I just wanted more people watching my content, and for a while the Commenters Don't Understand videos were a great way to do that. Oh, and I'm sure the people that don't like hearing me ramble have already left this video, but just in case you are still watching, you didn't like the Gemini Elf video or any of my other sort of rambly videos, that's what this is going to be today. So I do have sort of points that I want to go through, but the main purpose of today's video is to sort of talk about and sort of discuss why I've put Commenters Don't Understand as a series, or any series where I review comments, on hold for the foreseeable future. So first up, you need to understand that my philosophy about my channel has changed over the past 2 years. Back when I was first sort of gaining a lot of attention, gaining a lot of subscribers, I found that one of the easier ways to do that was to sort of break people down, to make fun of cards, to make fun of decks, and that was what a lot of those early videos, especially if you go back to 2017, really were. Now I want to mention here that there's a lot of people that currently really dislike me that haven't watched me in the past 2 years, and they still think that to this day that's what all of my content is. I'm sure even a couple of you guys watching this video right now are thinking, well, his content really hasn't changed. But if you go back and watch those 2017 videos and compare them to 2018 2018 videos or 2019 videos, I think you'll find that I was way more negative back 2 years ago. I was way more blunt with what I was saying 2 years ago, and overall, I'm just not a fan of a lot of that content. Of course, I'm gonna leave it up there if people want to go watch it, but that version of myself who made all those 2017 videos, I mean, it certainly was me, but a lot of those videos weren't really my voice. You know, I was making content that would appeal to the widest margin of people so that more people would find my channel, I would grow my channel, and that's really the goal of almost every single video from that sort of entire year, really. But around 2018, I realized that I wasn't being myself enough in my videos. You know, I just didn't really like a lot of the content I was making. So on 2018 and especially in 2019, I sort of shifted the focus of my channel to making the type of videos that I want to make in the way that I want to make them. Truth be told, back in 2017, I didn't realize just how many casual players are out there and how many different types of casual players or old school players or ex-Yu-Gi-Oh players really are out there watching YouTube videos and maybe coming across my videos and their suggested feed. So when I made those videos sort of laughing at and making fun of these long comments from ex-players or old school players talking about modern cards, I really was making them to appeal to the modern competitive player because I thought that's what my channel was sort of supposed to be oriented to. But what I realized as I made more and more of those videos and just videos in general and grew my audience to way bigger than I ever thought possible was that I realized that there are a lot of players out there that really want to learn. So that's why if you look at those first three commenters don't understand videos, Egyptian God cards and then Pot of Greed and then Exodia, I think the idea of them, the philosophy of them, design of them is a lot different than the other videos I've made laughing at comments. Because in those videos, I mean, don't get me wrong, I picked some funny comments that we can all look at, but I think the main theme of those videos, like my normal videos, is to teach people about Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Yu-Gi-Oh's history. I think it's completely fine to goof on the commenters a little bit. You know, YouTube comments are pretty funny and almost every channel makes fun of them a little bit, either on social media or in their own videos. But I think when you spend too much time reading all of these negative comments, which are always going to be there, you know, people are always going to be misinformed or whatever, I think when you spend all your time reading those, like I was, and sort of screen capping them for future videos like Commenters Don't Understand, like some of my other videos, I think you lose a lot of what makes YouTube so great. Sure, you're going to find some negative comments, but especially on my own channel, most of my comments, like 95% of my comments, maybe even more than that, are overwhelmingly positive. And when I was doing these videos all the time, not so much the actual Commenters Don't Understand series, but these side videos, you know, where I make fun of like the worst comment of 2018 or that Pot of Desires is garbage video, those are found in a very negative place, a negative mindset from myself, which I really wanted to get away from because I'm not that type of person in real life, and I think most of you guys that have met me know that. You know, I like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh's history. I like discussing why cards are good or why cards are bad, or maybe they're somewhere in between. That stuff really interests me. So when I make these Commenters Don't Understand videos, and I know that that's not really the point of them, but that was like the big series, and I think that the other videos that don't share that title are actually a lot worse and a lot further from what I'm trying to make them. But even with those Commenters Don't Understand videos, I think it can sort of make people nervous to ask questions, which isn't what I'm trying to do. And it's funny for me, from my perspective, right? Because I get around 15 to 20,000 comments in any given month, and I haven't made a Commenters Don't Understand video or any other video reading comments in what, several months? I mean, way back in July. But I still see comments to this day that are just asking simple, innocent questions about Yu-Gi-Oh or a ruling or a card, and they say, please don't put me in a Commenters Don't Understand. When I read those comments, I don't want to get too sappy here, but it breaks my heart a little bit because my entire purpose of this channel is to help you guys get better at Yu-Gi-Oh, either through learning through history or learning about tournaments or tech options or deck choices or anything along those lines. So when I see those comments from people that are just really simple comments and they say, please don't put me in a Commenters Don't Understand video, it makes me look at myself and say, okay, this series just has to stop. It can't continue this way. And when I look at which types of comments made it into Commenters Don't Understand videos, I think they mostly fell under 4 different categories. Sometimes there's a little bit of overlap, especially with the 1 and 2, but basically the 4 categories of comments that I usually looked for were 1, emotional responses to personal beliefs. That would be like someone saying that they hate me or that I'm a loser or a virgin or whatever because I made fun of their favorite card. 2, they make sort of logical responses based on inaccurate facts. The example of that would be someone saying, well, Darkhold people can't affect Obelisk because Obelisk can't be targeted. I also regularly included sort of logical responses to future things that would happen that I wouldn't anticipate. For example, in the Exodia Commenters Don't Understand video, I mentioned that Exodia had just won an OTS, so I kind of talked about what an OTS was and why it wasn't actually a big tournament, which I felt was very important for that discussion. The fourth sort of category that I tried to shy away from but still included because they're funny is long posts filled with many inaccuracies, usually filled with that emotional response. And when we're looking at all four of these different type of comments that I usually would include, the ones that are most valuable to people watching, not in terms of entertainment, but in terms of education, are the 2 and 3 spot. So logical responses based on incorrect information, that's ruling questions. Those are sort of historical inaccuracies. Those ones are really easy to correct and super educational and valuable for the people watching. Yes, sometimes they also have that emotional response sort of wrapped in, and those ones are really good as well. But one of the things that I sort of feel about like the worst comment of 2018 video or that Pod Desires is garbage video is that there's not a lot of educational value in those videos. Not a lot of sort of strategy in those videos. They're just laughing at some commenter that left a really old school, out of date comment that obviously is filled with many inaccuracies. But no one really learns anything from watching those videos, and not every video I make has to be super educational. I mean, some of them certainly are more than others, but in general, I want you guys to learn at least one thing from every single video you watch, even if it's something small. In a lot of those videos, I don't feel that's true. Certainly, I did it better in some of those videos, especially the actual Commenters Don't Understand series, other than maybe the Mystic Mind video. All of those I feel are relatively educational compared to the other videos looking at comments. But even still, I want people to feel like they can comment on my videos and ask questions so that I can answer them in future videos without making fun of them or putting them on blast. And I will say here, because this is really important, if you compare like my 2017 videos to like my 2018 and a half videos through right now, I will say that adding longer intros to each discussion, instead of just like 30 seconds, I add like a 2-minute or 3-minute discussion sort of before the discussion. That really helps. Like, you guys have no idea. You have no idea how many comments, how many potentially negative comments that sort of gets rid of. I'm so cautious. I posted a tweet the other day where it's like, if I would have made a video about Necro Valley in 2017, I probably would have started it out by saying, okay, this is only about Necro Valley, Gravekeepers suck, don't ask me about them. But because I made it nowadays, I say, okay, Gravekeepers, they got some new support, they're a fun casual deck, they're a fun rogue deck. That's not really what we're focusing on in today's video. We're only talking about Necro Valley, and those tiny changes and just making it a little bit longer of an intro actually do make a huge difference. So first off, they make the comments a lot more positive because people aren't coming out here and saying, hey, I play Gravekeepers, why do you say that they suck? They hear the intro and go, oh, okay, he's not talking about Gravekeepers because he's not focusing on a more casual strategy, which is what I'm playing. But it's also important because it makes me not seem like a dick all the time. And I say that because there certainly are still people, like I mentioned earlier, that watched me 2 years ago, watched one video, never watched another video in their life, and they still have that opinion about me 2 years later, which makes me feel so stupid because I just wasn't putting my real personality in those videos from 2017. I was trying to be edgy, I was trying to be cool, I was the up-and-coming Yugi tuber, and that's really just not who I am in real life. I'm a very easygoing guy that's willing to have a conversation with any level of player, and I want to make that very apparent in my current videos. And I feel like in 2019 especially, I did a fantastic job of that, and I've especially noticed it in places like Reddit or Zodiac Duelist. I mean, I don't really go on Reddit too often. I've done it a couple times on live stream, but there used to be these posts, every like 1 month or every 2 months that was like, okay, who is your favorite Yugi tuber? Who's your least favorite Yugi tuber? And back in the day, especially 2017, 2018, almost every single mention of my name was negative. There was one thread in particular that I mentioned. I was on vacation. It was my birthday. I think that was the summer of 2018, and literally every single comment on the entire thing, about 100 comments mentioned my name. Every single one of them was negative. They were just like, he's a douchebag, he's a dick, he always says negative things about my favorite strategies. And I think at that point I wasn't quite ready to accept that I should change my mindset about how I make videos, but that was like the original stepping stone. And then I realized, like, okay, these guys have this impression on me because they watched a video from a year ago and never watched anything else. You only get that one chance to make a first impression. Someone's idea of me might just come from 5 minutes that they watched 2 years ago, and it's really hard to change that. So if I put my best foot forward in every single video and try to be as positive as possible, even when I'm talking about cards maybe aren't as good, I think that really does help the general population's view of me in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. And I'd be be lying if I didn't say that I didn't notice the positive interactions that people have about me, and they post them on Twitter and on Reddit, and all the comments these days seem to be pretty positive. You know, there was someone that posted a picture with me on Reddit from YCS Pasadena, and he said, oh, this guy like got me back to the game, here's a picture with him, and it was like almost all the comments on that thread were really, really positive. And the people that commented negative things almost always had a fan sort of correcting them and saying, okay, maybe he's not a dick all the time, maybe he doesn't make those videos anymore. And there was one comment that really stuck out to me, and it said, I think Dzeeff is a huge asshole, that's why people don't like him. And then it said, well, at least that's what I think because I watched one video of his and then I didn't watch any more. And that really is funny to me, that, you know, someone can never interact with you ever in real life and they only watch one video of yours, or maybe even not the whole video, and that is their opinion about you forever. And that is just really, really crazy. So now I think about that a lot more when I make every single video. I go, what if this is the first time that someone has heard of me, someone has seen me, someone has watched me? What are they going to take from this video and sort of about me, but also about my channel? As a bigger YouTuber in the community, at least the Yu-Gi-Oh community, I have to prepare myself. You know, it's part of the job to deal with daily sort of comments about everything wrong with my appearance, everything wrong with the way I talk, how I'm so boring. I have to read those comments every single day, and I can take that. You know, I've developed a pretty thick skin over the years, and yet a lot of people out there watch those commenters don't understand videos and said, okay, this big YouTuber just doesn't understand YouTube comments. He gets triggered too easily, not really realizing how many real negative comments, how many really mean comments that we have to read on a daily and monthly basis for years. I won't talk about it too much here because I made a really long thread on Twitter about it, but a lot of people out there really, really underestimate just how many sort of mean and hateful and spiteful messages every single big-ish YouTuber receives on a regular basis. But even though comments are completely public and anyone can read them and reply to them, I don't really feel like the average commenter thinks their comment is going to be read, especially not by the channel that the video is from, especially if that channel is bigger than they can ever imagine. If you're someone that has 13 subscribers, you might not realize that someone with 100,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers or 10 million subscribers might actually stumble upon your really, really rude and mean and misguided comment. Anyway, I probably rambled on way too much in today's video, so if you watched this far, I appreciate it a lot. I don't know why you watched. I hope you learned something along the way or got a little bit entertainment. I just want to answer why I don't make those videos anymore. You know, it really just isn't me. That's not who I am. I don't like putting people down. I don't like making fun of people, but those videos, you know, they just got so many views, and that is so important on YouTube for a growing channel. And if I could go back, I don't know if I would say that I just never do those, because every single video that I made, every single step that I took led me to right here. But I think going forward, especially in 2020, you know, we're reaching almost the next year, I think I'm really going to try to just not do those types of videos unless it's like a very special occasion. You might see me jokingly put it in a UDS top 4 deck profile title, you might see me use it for a live stream title, but unless I can find a more positive way to react to comments and actually teach people things while also laughing a little bit together without making fun of the commenter, unless I can figure out how to do that, I'm not really actively looking to do that right now. But if something sort of comes along my way where I'm like, oh wait, this is a big change that I can make to really help this series, you probably won't see a true commenters don't understand video for quite a while. I will say I really like the format of like the please don't play Silvery Calicos video. That one really felt like I was answering some comments without calling anyone out and still educating people about the card. Anyway though, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.